Hi, welcome to Jovie's home. I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, only in December. Oh. Or should we say welcome to Vinny's home? Should we say welcome to Vinny's home? I post new videos whenever I feel like it, because I'm a dog and I can do what I want. So today we are going to be talking about some ways that you can keep your pets, well, mostly dogs and cats, calm during the fireworks. Now, if you are new to the Netherlands, you are in for a treat this New Year's Eve when you are going to experience not only New Year's Eve, but New Year 24 hours. Okay, it's not really 24 hours, but it feels like that sometimes. But yeah, it's a really big party here in the Netherlands. It starts in the morning, it ends the next day, which is really fun for us humans, but these guys might not like it so much. So I thought it would be important to bring you guys a video on how to help keep your dogs and cats calm during what is coming. Fireworks Mageddon. I don't know what to call it, but yeah, it's gonna be crazy. So with these guys being in our families and being such important parts of our families, we want to make sure that they're nice and comfortable and not too terrified while we're out having a good old time. So if that sounds good, look, if that sounds good to you, then why don't you come on in, kick off your shoes. Oh, we don't have shoes. We don't have shoes because we are dogs and cats and we just have paws. How about this? Then why don't you come on in, wipe your paws and stay a while. I'm really glad you're here. Before we get into all the tips, I do want to say I'm of course not a veterinarian. I'm not really involved in training or, I don't know, like researching animals or things. But I did do some research on my computer because I was worried about my own dog. So these are some of the tips that I found throughout my research. They will of course be linked in the description. So if you want to do your own reading, please go ahead. But these are just some tips that I refreshed myself on to make sure that we can make it as comfortable for Vinny as possible, since he is a bit of a skittish dog. He is an old dog, but yeah, we just want to make his life a little bit more comfortable. So with that said, let's get to the tips. Number one, the first tip is to keep your dog inside, preferably with humans. So it's really important that you don't have your dogs out on the street when, in the Netherlands, I mean, I think it's, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think, well, again, it might be dependent on where you live, but I believe that at 10 a.m. you can start with fireworks. So you can start on December 31st at 10 a.m. and it goes until basically after midnight on January 1st. So there are lots and lots of people outside setting off fireworks all day, noisy ones, not huge fireworks, but things that can injure your pets. So make sure that they are kept inside on that day, and preferably with human companionship so that when they are scared, they can come to you and you can comfort them. Kind of a logical thing, but worth mentioning. This tip also applies if you have cats. Maybe you have cats that are more used to being outdoors, and they're, really like an outdoor cat. If you can, try to keep them inside. Try to find a way to bring them inside and just keep them there for that day. Make sure you seal off all exits, the cat flaps and things like that. Cats can get out. They don't need a lot of space to like wiggle out. But yeah, try to keep them inside because that is where they're going to be the safest. Next up, it is very important to try to not overstimulate your pet. And one of the things that you can do, even if you can't take out the noise or the sound of the fireworks, you can remove some of the visual stimulation. So that means that you close your windows with your curtains and your blinds. Just try to black it out to the extent that you can, so that your animals, yes, they will hear the noise, but they don't also have to see the flash. That can be more and more overstimulating for them, and even stress them out more. So by trying to remove some of that visual stimulation, it will help to keep them a little bit more calm. The next tip that I would like to share with you is that you create a retreat, whether you have dogs or cats. Now, if you have a dog and you have crate trained your dog, the crate is a great place for them to have access to. But if you haven't crate trained your dog, or you no longer have a crate, then just try to find some kind of small space that you can make like a little hideaway for your dog that is warm and cozy, that they can go and be left alone if they want to be alone, but just like a place for them to feel safe. Try to create one of those so that they are not as panicked. In general, dogs do prefer a smaller, more enclosed space when they are frightened, so having a place like that available really can go a long way to helping them. For cats, the same thing goes. Try to give them a safe hide, a place to hide away if they can. Cats also sometimes prefer to go like under the sofa or under the bed. If that's where your cat chooses to go, don't try to force them out. Just let them stay there. If that's their chosen hiding or, protective space, just let them be there while they are afraid. So create a safe hiding spot for your dog or your cat goes a long way in helping them feel more comfortable when they're afraid. One tip that we also really use, not only with our dog, but also with our children, is to use white noise. So there are lots of white noise machines. I don't recommend you just buy a machine. You can also find on YouTube that there are white noise videos and you can just listen to that. Or you can distract them by putting on some kind of TV show or some radio or music if that's something that your animal is used to hearing in your home. So you can try to distract them from the loud bangs and booms by having some other kind of noise in the background. I've also heard that there are people who can Google or you can search for calming dog music, and there are things like that on YouTube and other corners of the internet where you can find some nice calming music for your pet. Give it a try, why not? The next tip that you can try to use to help keep your animal calm is to distract them with some kind of puzzle or a toy that is going to keep them engaged for a longer period of time. Some of these toys do use treats, and I think that's a really nice way to do it. You don't want to just give your dog 100 treats because they're nervous or anxious, but the goal is to use a toy that maybe dispenses a treat once you play with it for a certain amount of time, or they have these Kongs that you can put like peanut butter in or something like that, that will keep your dog active. So the idea here is that you distract them from their fear and not just like reward their fear by giving them treats. So you might think about that if you have one of these type of toys, or like a puzzle toy or something that dispenses treats. But the idea is to just keep your dog occupied, and also maybe your cat, keep them occupied for a period of time so that they are not worried about the fireworks. And the last tip that I'm going to offer you guys today is, I think this is also really important, and that is to make sure that your dog gets some exercise early in the day before all the fireworks and noises start. So if you're able to get up extra early and go for maybe a longer walk than you normally would, or take them somewhere where they can just run and try to exercise your dog, let them use up some of that energy, but make sure you do that before the fireworks start in your gemeente or wherever you're living, so that they will be more calm as they have had their exercise. In addition to that, at least with my dog, and I'm sure that with other animals too, let me know if your animal is like this too, but when my dog is not feeling comfortable, he is not eating and he is not drinking. So an idea is to try to make sure that they get at least one meal in on Oudjaar or New Year, like Old Year's Day on the 31st of December. So what we do is we exercise him in the morning, we come home, we try to get him to eat, his meal in the morning, and to drink plenty of water. That way, even if he doesn't eat later on, once the noises are going nuts and everything's happening, it's okay because he will have had his food for the day, or at least half of his food. We normally feed him twice, but if he just eats once, that's also okay. But then we're not worried about him having stomach issues in addition to the anxiety. So That's a good tip. You feed them, give them water, and exercise them before the noises start, and that way at least you know that some of their basic needs will have been taken care of earlier in the day. So you guys, that's it. Those are my tips. I would love to hear any tips that you have on keeping your animals safe. Maybe you have other animals than dogs or cats, and you can let us know in the bottom, in the comments, what are your tips on keeping your other animals more comfortable during fireworks. I would love to know what you think. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Share it if you think that you know somebody that has an animal that might benefit from some tips for New Year's. I would really appreciate that. And yeah, make sure you're subscribed. Thank you so much for coming over today. I really appreciate any time that you spent with me, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.